Now in Abia State, before they approve your drawing, you must bring an undertaking written by a registered builder, signed. So if a building collapses, they don't need to run helter-skelter to look. They just go to the town planning and trace, this is the person's name, this is the person's number, and they will reach the person from there. So buildings will keep on collapsing as long as quacks are being employed to do construction works.
Is there a stipulated amount one should have before trying to venture into building?
No, I think the highest amount you should have is the decision, your mind.
Amazing.
Yes, once your mind is made up to do something, you will see those things coming out. Yeah, if you are kind of person that normally spends a lot, you cut out those things.
Okay.
You know that this money can get me one bag of cement, you save it.
Yes.
This thing can get me one trip of sand. Before you know it, the thing itself will just keep on gingering you to go further, to do more. That's just it.
I think it's safe to say you're also talking to me.
For the first time, the man fled up and went to the drawing, picked my number and called. Builder, are you crazy? You that you don't know how to quote for a job? How can you be demanding for extra cement after all the cement I've bought? I said, sir, is it only 10 bags of cement you are shouting over? I said,
I did the design, it was accepted. Then we did a bill of quantity and gave to his brothers.
So I relaxed, not knowing that these guys went behind me, took the bill of quantity, edited it, padded a lot of things on that bill of quantity and sent to their brother. Now it was later along the line that I discovered that if I had studied civil engineering, I wouldn't have become that building engineer I wanted to be. So while I entered school, I discovered that if you talk of civil engineering, you're talking about a whole lot of things, structural calculations, electrical, all those guys are called engineers. But if you want to dive into building particularly, you have to study building technology or building construction.
Welcome to DJ Brawler.
All right. So you're welcome to Plot Point Stories,
a platform where we host experienced people who have been there, who have track records of genuine success and their real life experiences. They come to share what they've been through, how they got there, and how they have been able to stay there.
So I welcome you especially once again. And on today's edition, we have a VIP. I'm excited to have him on this show. You know, he's one of the seasoned builders and architects we have in the Southeast. And he's not a person than Mr. Promise Kalu. He is popularly known as the builder. You know what that means? When your craft goes after your name, you know what it means. So Mr. Promise has worked with Axion Nigeria Limited. He has worked with the International Trust Fund, the ITF. He has also been a trainer at the Empower program. And we are excited to have such caliber of person in our program today. So you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It is an honor to have you in our platform.
All right, so let's dive right in. Tell us a bit about yourself. What inspired you to venture into this particular niche, and how your journey has been so far over the years?
Okay, you've already said almost everything about myself, but so I'll just
go into details.
Okay, I'll just go into a little details. I'm just the first son in my family, and right from childhood, my dad always showed the character of a craftsman. So yes, he does carpentry work, he does mason work, he was a teacher also in a secondary school in Aba. So that hustling spirit has always been there from childhood. So when I grew up and wanted to enter into the higher institution, I told him I wanted to be an engineer. He was excited.
But there would have been a very big mistake at that point. You know, I used to think that once you want to build a house, you go for an engineer.
Okay.
So I wanted to be building houses. So I told him I wanted to be an engineer.
Okay.
I kept trying different schools, Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Federal Polytechnic, and lots of them.
Okay.
Then I think then JAMB will give you options of choosing up to 6 schools. So The last school I added there was Adaste Polytechnic.
Okay.
Planning to study civil engineering. I wrote aptitude tests on aptitude tests, but I didn't get civil engineering. So somehow, luckily, I found myself studying building technology. Now, it was later along the line I discovered that if I had studied civil engineering, I wouldn't have become that building engineer I wanted to be. So while I entered school, I discovered that if you talk of civil engineering, you're talking about a whole lot of things, structural calculations, electrical, all those guys are called engineers. But if you want to dive into building particularly, you have to study building technology or building construction. So that's how I found myself studying building construction, and I'm glad I made the choice and I'm here today.
Yes, you have track records that are speaking for itself.
Of course.
So would you say, okay, let me put it this way: how were you able to evolve over the years as you begin to deliver all these contracts?
Because I know those years, the pattern of building and all that were much different than what we have now.
Yes. Okay. Let me just paint a picture. There were people we looked up to when we were a lot younger in this field, and most of them learned the skill through training, not really academic, maybe through constant training from a superior person, but then started practicing. Just like then I had a boss who was a draftsman. He was good in drawing, but trends began to change and it became so difficult for him. So as young people, or I personally, what I now did was to make sure I continuously develop myself.
How?
And how I do that is attending conferences. Like in building and the building sector, we have annual general meetings where we come and discuss trends. Just like, for example, there is this material now that is trending that they call polystyrene. Polystyrene that they use for POP, partitioning of walls. I heard about that, I think should be 2016. That was when that material entered Nigeria. So they brought samples of it to one of these our workshops and displayed it. Then over time, builders started to bring in that material into construction, and now it is one of the most materials used. As long as you're talking about delivering on time, polystyrene can be used for everything. So
we get to find out new inventions, discuss challenges and how to sort them out during those workshops. Personal development, learning from on online spaces, the YouTube, and have a lot of materials to grab from there.
What's the name of your company?
It's Buildright Contractors.
Buildright Contractors. Yeah. Well, every project has a downside.
Yes.
And I'm sure along the line you must have encountered one or two.
Of course.
Okay, so tell us how you were able to overcome such hurdle. You can tell us a story about one, and then how you were able to overcome it.
Okay, there's this one I don't think I can ever forget what happened because it was tough for me.
Okay.
So I had this client who was following me on my social media platforms.
Okay.
And he reached out to me, but through his siblings.
Okay.
2 of them. So these guys are still somehow, I've worked for them. So when they reached out to me, they presented themselves and told me that their brother owns the property. I said, okay. I did the design, it was accepted. Then we did a bill of quantity and gave to his brothers.
So I relaxed, not knowing that these guys went behind me, took the bill of quantity, edited it, padded a lot of things on that bill of quantity and sent to their brother. So unluckily for him, he accepted. Now these guys, they've cashed out, but to still deliver on what I gave as the bill on the bill of quantity, they refuse. If I write, give me 100 bags for this stage, they will say, maybe it will be excess. They will buy 30. And if I tell them, this 30 you bought now, it has finished, get more bags, they will go and tell their brother that that's 200 I wrote was still not enough. So the thing continued happening until one point, I think we're just about to round off the slab. We needed about 10 bags to complete that stage. I told the brothers, call your brother, we need 10 bags of cement. They called the brother and told the brother that the engineer said, that the builder said they should get extra 50 bags. So for the first time, the man flared up and went to the drawing, picked my number and called. A builder, are you crazy? You that you don't know how to quote for a job? How can you be demanding for extra cement after all the cement I've bought? I said, sir, is it only 10 bags of cement you are shouting over?
Yes.
He said, what did I said? 10 bags of cement. He said, wow, 10 bags? And they told him 50 bags.
What?
So that was when he got to realize that there was something fishy.
Yes.
So he now asked me privately to send my estimate again. Do you know that after I sent the man my estimate, we had to find another means? So I now told the man, when you need the material, pay directly to the market.
Yes.
Tell your brothers to go and pick those things from there. So the thing now spoiled their business. They didn't know I was in between that issue until when I think we were almost done. But the thing is that their brother was able to complete that project with what he would have spent for one particular stage according to what the brother was doing. So it was a very big challenge for me. So I had to just use wisdom, not getting in between, because they are brothers. So I had to just balance it on this side and balance it on this side till the job was done.
So when taking up a project, what are the factors you consider? How do you source for the right material, and how do you know the right materials?
Okay, we consider a lot of factors. Like if I'm to bid for a job, I have to consider the distance. If it's taking me out from my base, transportation is going to be affected. Security is going to be affected. A lot of factors are going to be considered. Then, for sourcing of materials, it depends on the size of work. If it's a very small work, we can source for materials within. Yeah, but if it's a large project that needs a large amount of materials, we can source directly from the company. I can source rods from the company in Lagos.
That produces the material itself.
Yes, but you must buy in large quantity.
Yeah, I can still source these axiom materials from the company directly or from a registered dealer. Because most of these companies have registered dealers. You cannot go beside them or through another channel to them. So we look for those guys and get them. Then for materials, there is something I do which I call material testing most times before construction. If I go to an area where I don't have access to those people I can reach, I will just have to pick samples of the materials I get around that place, take it to the lab for test. If it matches what I want, the minimum strength I want, I can work with that.
So there's a lab to test those
Yes,
materials.
there is lab test for rods. You can test concrete. You can test any material. Every material we use in construction has strength, and there's a required strength it must meet up to before you can use it for the work.
The question I asked was for those who want to build for people. Now let me ask for those who want to build for themselves, like the owners of the project you are trying to execute. So what advice will you give to someone who wants to build his or her house and wants to contract people like you?
When you want to contract someone for a project, I would give the advice that you make sure you work directly with the company. You can bring in like some people, just like the example I painted. Some developers will now say, meet my brother. My brother will be in charge. He will supervise whatever. That kind of contract doesn't really last. There's always conflicts along the line. But when you contract a company, you sign an agreement with the company. The company has a lot to protect, both their reputation, their name, their workers, and everything. And they will ensure they use the right material. Because I've come to realize that most times, once it get not like family members and friends cannot deliver, but it is very rare. They always try to find a way. If you ask for the standard material, they might go for the lower ones, forgetting that at the end of the whole thing, if anything goes wrong, the contractor or the developer is the one that bears everything. So you just have to sign out everything you want to the company and expect that you can now put in an external body to monitor. But the person should not interfere between what is going on site.
Then to developers outside thinking of when to start and how to start, the best time to start remains now. Because the way Nigeria is, things go up all the time and never come down. I remember when we used to buy material, cement for example, for 2,500. People say, let me wait till when this season cement will drop, when this season rods will drop. But look at where we are now.
Good old days.
Almost 10,000 naira. So I think if you started then, you would have gone far by now. So if you don't ever start, you would not even think of finishing. So it's good they always start, and with any amount of money they have on ground.
With any amount of money they have on ground. Is there a stipulated amount one should have before trying to venture into building?
No, I think the highest amount you should have is the decision, your mind.
Amazing.
Yes, once your mind is made up to do something, you will see those things coming out. Yeah, if you are the kind of person that normally spends a lot, you cut out those things.
Okay.
You know that this money can get me one bag of cement. You save it.
Yes.
This thing can get me one trip of sand. Before you know it, the thing itself will just keep on gingering you to go further, to do more. So that's just it.
I think it's safe to say you're also talking to me.
So I'll be waiting for your call.
To be honest. All right. So in the country where we live in Nigeria, we've had several cases where buildings collapse over and over and over.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your opinion about this.
You know, yes, we are in Nigeria. A lot of factors are there to cause building collapse, but just like in Abia State, wherever building collapses, the builders are rushing to that place to know. If a builder was involved in the project, they are going to withdraw the person's practicing license. The person can never ever practice building or anything construction. So we've been doing this for a while now, and I'm bold to say that for all the collapses that have happened within my area, let me say Abia State, that I'm very sure of, there is no record that a builder was part of it. So most of these collapses happen when craftsmen, artisans, start answering engineers on site. You will see a bricklayer, you will see a laborer who has seen an engineer do setting out or do one of the things on site. The next period of time, you've heard that those people are now contractors, they are now engineers. So when such a building collapses, you cannot trace. You cannot trace it. Now in Abia State, before they approve your drawing, you must bring an undertaking written by a registered builder, signed. So if a building collapses, they don't need to run helter-skelter to look. They just go to the town planning and trace, this is the person's name, this is the person's number, and they will reach the person from there. So buildings will keep on collapsing as long as quacks are being employed to do construction works. But to cut it out, engage professionals.
Yes. Amazing. So what is your advice to those who are coming up in this profession?
Oh, keep coming. Keep coming. Yes, it's a very sweet profession, honestly. It's a very I don't think I can venture into something.
Any other one?
Yeah, not like I cannot do one or two businesses, but it is something that keeps on motivating me all the time to go for that. I've not even gotten to where I want to be.
Of course.
I'm always trying to
go there,
make steps ahead from where I am already. Okay. So just keep coming. We are waiting. We'll join you.
Okay. In one of your contents, meanwhile, find him on his social media. He has so many amazing contents there. So one of your contents talks about Axion.
Yes.
An Axion product. What does it do?
Okay, Axion is a company that came into Nigeria. The material was built, and they produce the material in Canada.
Okay.
So someone saw the need for it in Nigeria and started importing those materials. So Axion has a lot of products in Nigeria.
Okay, not just one.
Not just Axion is the name.
Okay.
Now they have up to 7 products.
They have the Axion Toughcrete, they have the Axion Totalcrete, they have the Axion Solid Base Stabilizer, they have the Axion Toughcrete Polymer, and a lot of other products they have. These products are used to checkmate damping. The products are used to increase bearing pressure of the soil, the bearing capacity. They use it in road constructions like this. They are Lagos Coastal Highway. They are using the Axion polymer to mix with the concrete that are used there, because it triples the strength of that concrete. It reduces the way moisture penetrates through concrete, capillary actions, and you can use them for their screedings too. They have the Axion Hydro Shield, which is used for screeding to prevent cracks. Most times if you finish screeding your wall, you see them peeling off, changing colors. So those things have come in. They are game changers in that field. So they are using it to do their screeding these days, do their block work, do concrete works, and a lot of other things. So it's a very big brand, and their social media platforms are also there to explain more.
Okay. Talking about contents, which platforms can we find you?
Okay, you can find me on TikTok, buildright 211. You can find me on Facebook. My personal Facebook page is builder Promise Kalu.
Okay.
My page is the Buildright Contractors. Buildright Contractors. Instagram is also Buildright Contractors.
Okay.
Now my website is www.buildrightcontractors.ng.
Okay.
Buildrightcontractors.ng.
Okay.
Yes.
There we'll see the works you've done
Yes.
and all the testimonials.
The whole about of the company is there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for staying tuned, for watching our contents. Please do well to share, do well to subscribe,
Yeah.
and of course leave your opinion in the comment section. See, we'll come your way next time. Bye.
Bye.